You're listening to What She Said podcast with Shanae Hall.
Right? Because at the end of the day, they got their kids and their man. Yeah, he might dip a little, but here you are out here buying a dog.
No, I'm not rolling with that one. No.
All right. Well, I'm just speaking facts.
I know. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I got you. You may not be wrong with that.
Go ahead and buy the dog.
Yeah, but we also know, and not to go into this one, but we also know Black women are one of the largest groups of women that are dying alone.
Yeah, well, nigga, sometimes you got to die alone, because what we ain't gonna do is be sharing. I don't care who I'm. If you watch any other episode, I ain't about to be sharing now.
I got you. I think that's easier said than done, though. But
no, I don't think. I totally agree with you with the sharing part.
No, I'm saying I'm not talking about sharing this stuff, but I'm saying I think it's easy to say that, but I don't.
I mean, I don't know. I married my high school sweetheart, who I was in love with more than anybody in the world, and when I found out, and we have 3 children together. The first person I ever said I love you to, I married with my whole heart and soul. And when I found out he wanted to share,
but wait, but what you said is
he had to get ghost.
But listen, but you're different. You already had the dream, boo.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying. I'm
talking about women who never had it. You already had it.
Okay.
They're 43 and haven't had it. You can't enjoy that part. Right? She had a husband and 3 kids. You already had your piece of pie, boo.
Wait, so are you saying that if you are 43 and you haven't had a piece of the pie, then you are more subject to in a sharing relationship than somebody who, you know what I'm saying?
I'm saying that a lot of women at this part are getting to moments of desperation.
Okay.
And they want some companionship, and the dog that they bought isn't enough.
True. Okay, I'm a roll.
When I'm speaking, and I'm not just BSing, I'm speaking from personal conversations I've had with these women. And so I'm speaking from a place of knowledge. You know what I mean? I'm not just shooting the BS. And so I'm saying that I feel bad for them. And sometimes I'm like, but at the same time too, some of the expectations are just ridiculous, right?
Well, let me just
say this. Or like they want, Shamar Moore, but they not even working on themselves, you know?
Bobby Brown.
So, right. Well, right,
okay,
right.
Bobby,
but I don't want to get off into that's a
all right, Kevin Samuel.
No, but I'm just explaining. I was relating to that first, and then we.
Don't change the topic.
Right.
But I think what they're saying is that when it comes to making decisions of love and relationships, I personally think whether it's gay, whether it's straight, mixed, pink, purple, and brown, commitment is commitment. I don't care who you are and what. It all takes work.
Right. But I'm saying that there's these gay men who want to live this life, and there's a sector of women willing to do it with them.
That's true. And now that I will have to attest to, there is a group of women. I may have misspoke earlier when I said there are no Black women. Yes, there are. There's a small pocket of Black women who are literally at what we've seen as they have the career, they have the money, they have the package.
And I'm talking about she's attractive, he's attractive, They got the kids, but they went to private school, and as far as everybody knows, they look perfect.
And they went and got the package solo. They didn't get it with the man.
I'm saying, but their husband is creeping out because the woman is not enough to sustain him, right? But they are keeping up the image because she has this, right? Well, and she might even be a wife that don't even have to work, right? So sometimes, and I'm saying they're
no, I'm not talking about a wife. I'm talking about a single woman who has gotten everything. She got the career, the job, all that on her own.
Yes.
And she's at a status now where she's like, you know what? Ain't nothing out here. These things are trifling. I don't see nothing. Either they DL, either they're trifling, or I got to take care of them. And the ones who are on point are married. So she's at a status. She's like, look, boo, let's just get together and do what we do. You give me what I need. I'll give you what you need. There's no strings attached. We just gonna be having this, but I'm parents saying, together. There's that.
Oh, well, we were talking about, where I mean,
they just want a baby, and they don't mind having a friendship with you, and then you have your life.
And I do have the female friends who have gone to the bank to get the baby.
But I mean, what if it's a girl that was like, hey, I don't have to go to the bank. You're my closest friend. You're gay. Okay. You want a baby.
She still made an arrangement to get that child.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you both this, because are you, Marco, I think I already got your answer. Carlos, would you be open to a polygamy type of relationship or an open relationship with your partner?
We discussed it. I don't think you got his answer because we've discussed that, and it's unless you got from him that it was a no.
Yeah, that's what I got from him. That it was a no. But I didn't hear you answer it.
No, it's a
Yeah.
It's a
He
no.
said that off the bat. He was like, no. He cut you off and was like, no. So I
But
knew
the
where he was
thing is
going.
that he says that is he's the one that has you brought up that conversation before, like, oh, but I know at the end of the day, he can't even handle somebody damn near flirting with me. So I already know, you know what I mean? Like,
It ain't gonna do it flirting, it's just respect. I don't care what was what. It's just there's certain boundaries I've set that if I was with a woman, I would never allow my wife to think that it's okay. Like if you with me, you with me, period. And that's just how I roll. I at least had a goal that if I'm gonna be in a committed relationship, there's certain expectations I have for myself of what I personally expect. And you don't always get that immediately. The people got to grow together in that decision. But if you would have decided that, you know what, I'm in a gay relationship, I can do what I want when I want and how, we wouldn't be. That's just how that is.
I don't have that desire. I don't.
I'm not saying you do. I'm saying if you did desire
I know,
that,
but
we
I'm
wouldn't be an item.
I'm telling this call. I don't have that desire.
Because that's a whole nother level.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, but you know, it has been discussed, right? As far as because I think we both care about the longevity of this relationship, and so it has been a discussion.
And our health.
And we do have people we know who that's how they've chosen to have their relationship.
And it's a stigma.
People that are very close
Yes.
to us, long-term relationships, right? That have, you know, and we were even kind of like shocked when they were telling us this, and we're kind of like, oh, really? Like, oh,
We judge.
like,
We secretly
like,
judge.
you know, like
we
clutching our pearls.
we clutch like,
Well,
oh,
you know,
y'all,
like,
oh, y'all
don't
think we
And
swingers.
so,
You know?
no, but I'm saying even with them, I was kind of surprised. I was
Yeah,
just
it
like,
was.
oh, it's a little more mainstream than we thought, you know.
But they thought we were swingers. We're not gonna call names, but we've had a couple of people, even within our lifestyle, to think that we were, because we were an item, that we were open door to try and, okay, y'all are open door. No, we're not. I shouldn't say Will and Jada. That's so wrong. But you know the stigma is, you know, Will and Jada thing. We just don't do that. I know that was so disrespectful. I'm sorry, Will. Sorry, Jada. But I'm just saying, allegedly, they say it about y'all. Oh,
Y'all are funny.
But we're not that tight. And I think the easy part would have been, okay, we can be that tight. Then we ain't got to worry about nothing. There's no rules. There's no expectation.
Right.
But I just, no, that's just not my thing.
We could look already.
There's a crazy stigma about where, because you know, men are more prone to be more sexually active. Like a woman's, hypothetically, let's use the world we live in. You know, it's like, oh my God, women are emotional, women are conservative, their bodies on the whole. Not we're talking about, oh, I know this whole is get it popping all day. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about as a whole, women are more conservative, where men are more hit it on the first night, let's get it, you know what I'm saying? So when you think of a gay relationship, oftentimes you hear about men, especially, and I have gay friends that they get it popping, and so they're like, we're more likely to sleep around, I guess that's what I'm saying. And so that's why I was asking you guys the question.
I do think, men, period, right? You know, and there is a whole reputation with gay men sleeping around, and there's a sexual energy there, right? That's a lot. But let me tell you, so I had this argument on Facebook before, not even an argument. I have a lot of female friends, a lot of male friends. I think my female straight friends get it popping much more than male friends. My female straight friends cheat more than my male friends. And so I said, wow, I always thought it was always the men. And people may not like it, but I don't care. It's been, I found it to be more that the women in my life, and I was like, the whole time I'm thinking it's the dudes and all my female friends, because I'm that one friend that they tell all their stuff to that they won't tell anybody else, right? And I'm sitting back like, oh my God, whole time. And I'm talking to my male friends telling me stuff, and I'm like, all these women, y'all doing more than these men, popping off a 9 o'clock, a 12 o'clock, and a 3 o'clock. You know what I mean?
That's
right. Me and Marco both did the same thing. We're like,
I'm just saying, and these are people in their 30s and 40s, boo boo. So I'm just saying, I for the longest time was under that impression as well until I started speaking with them. I was like, oh, y'all get it on and popping more than men. And so that's why so now I don't even believe that whole thing, you know, where it's like, oh, well, more men, you know, and we know too what most men are having their sexual peaks in their early 20s, and with the women, y'all having peaks at older ages.
Yeah, right.
And I know that to be true because my women friends are getting it in.
So I have a question.
Getting it in.
Okay.
So I've been silent this whole time, taking all this in. Thank you guys so much for sharing your story. You guys are amazing.
Thank you.
So my question is, what made either one of you know that you were the one? I mean, what was the magic that you said, oh yeah, this is the one I need to be with? What was that?
That's a good question. So I'll start this one off because I want to, because he might have different. Okay, so my cousin had a party, right? All right, let me say this. I've been a person who's had a few long-term relationships. I'm relationship oriented, right? So I'm having one of people who had like a 30-day relationship, blah blah. I've had 5-year one, a 2-year one. Don't look at me funny. I'm just saying I'm relationship oriented. So I had got out of a relationship that was like 2 years, and I was maybe about a year in, and I kind of thought to myself, and just for lack of a better way to say it, I wanted to have my whole phase, right? I was like, oh, relationship oriented. Who knows when I stop looking at me like that? Who knows when I might get another relationship? So my cousin had a party, and after the party, she invited. It was like by the pool or whatever outside, and she lives in a condo in DC. And afterwards, she invited a few select of us to come back up and continue to party a little bit where everybody else left. So I'm up there and I'm drinking a little bit, whatever. And he's up there, and I kind of look at him and I hear him talking, and I swear to God, I sat back and I'm listening to him. I kind of like what he's saying. We're having this deep conversation about, I think, relationships or something like that. And I said to myself in my head, I said, oh my God, I'm going to end up being with him. I knew immediately from that day in my gut, I said, we are going to be together. But the whole time though, I was trying to I wanted to continue playing the field, right? So I was like, no, I can't do that. And so I was trying to ignore it, but the vibe was so good, and there was this energy. And I'm Pisces, I'm very intuitive, and I feel stuff. And and what happened was afterwards, he had invited me randomly on Facebook to his birthday. He had a birthday karaoke event, and normally, I don't really know him like that. I wouldn't have gone, but something made me go. And we went and we took a picture together, which we still have up. And even in the picture, he was extra coupley when he hugged me, right? And it was kind of like, all right. So that was his birthday. Look how he's looking. 2 days later.
You ever see the episode of Martin when Martin tells the story, and she I know that ain't the story you about to tell everybody.
Right. He probably doesn't want to hum himself that much. But that was on a Wednesday, and I'll just say this: we went on a date on that Friday, and I don't think I left till Monday morning.
Oh snap!
Wait,
like that?
Right? Y'all got it popping that weekend?
Girl, we got to pop it. Yeah, we did. And so, and that's why I tell people too: you can get it popping from the beginning and still last 10 years later.
How about that?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's how first day.
So I want to hear his story too. Did he feel the same way? Was it magic?
Add on to it.
When I first, so he was very accurate in that I met him through his cousin. I've never been an explorer person of dating this one, dating that one, I've never been that guy. So I've always been intercommitted. When I actually met him, I had been single probably like a year and some change. I had just gotten out of a 5-year relationship. And this is at the time I met him fresh. Oh my God, I was right at 29, 30, something like that. But I was literally just ending a 5-year. And I went to this party. His cousin was like, hey, I got somebody I want you to meet. I was like, girl, I don't got no time for no meeting and stuff like that. Because nowadays, I don't think I'm focusing on is my career and, just being level-headed. And these minutes got too much going on. And she mentioned her cousin, and she told me his name, and I was like, wait a minute, he parties. That's down south they call me, he's a worldly man. I was like, no, he's worldly. I'm a church boy. We're not gonna meet. I'm a Libra. He's a Pisces. This is not gonna happen. So I didn't know who he was, what he looked like, or anything. And I heard this person talking at the party, and I remember him. He had on this long trench coat. I thought the trench coat was too big. I told him that when I met him. I was like, your coat's too big. You need to get a little more tailored. But anyway, I just thought he talked too much. He talked so much. And I was like, who is this guy that just talks entirely too much? And it almost turned me off. But then when I listened to his words, he had something to say. And I was like, oh, he's intelligent, and I'm into the intelligence of the person. You can be as beautiful as they are. You can have as much as you want. I'm real independent. That matters nothing to me, but he had something to say. And when I listened to his words, it kind of just struck my interest. Different. He was different from most. And I knew when I met him that I was going to talk to him again. I knew it. So time progressed, time went away, and I went on his Facebook page, probably like in March of that year. We didn't go out until October. So we kind of met in March. We didn't date until October.
It was more maybe May-ish.
March, May. I didn't see you till October.
It was warming up to
It
be
don't
about-
matter.
It was warming up to be about.
But wait a minute, y'all spent the weekend together on the first weekend.
Okay,
y'all
so
were
yeah,
there, right?
we got together October. We met. He came to my party October the 12th, my actual birthday. We went on a date October 14th. He went home the 17th, 18th. So let me tell you the truth. This is my truth. I'm not even gonna lie to you. He was supposed to be a little weekend piece for me. I'm just gonna be real. He was the piece. He was the hottest thing, one of the hottest in DC at the time. He was face, and I only go for the top hot ones. I'm gonna be real with you. I ain't gonna talk for the low budget level ones. I was okay if I'm gonna do
Marco,
this.
I'm so done with you right now.
Right? And he was supposed to be a weekend piece. Oh, I was so angry
love
on Monday when I cared about him on Monday. I was like, oh God, I wanted to go have some
What
fun.
did you say when I
Yes.
about him on Monday?
I wanted to have some fun. I'm serious. I had just gotten single. I was like, no, let me just go do my little thing because I've never explored like that. But I did. I
That's
met
so
him.
funny.
And ever since then, my trunk became much more fuller and full of clothes. And I was like, wait a minute, what is happening here? I'm sitting on his house too much. And
Right.
It got to the point where I kept having these conversations about finances, right? Like we're living in DC.
I was
And so
living in a fabulous
nothing-
loft over the
right.
skyline of Capitol Hill. So I was able to wake up every single morning and have my white woman dream.
Mhm.
I'm just being real.
I'm living in this 5-bedroom, 3-level house by myself.
Oh, wow.
And
Y'all
so
was doing
I
it.
was like, look, here we are. But he was too afraid to make that move. 'Cause it was
Yes,
kinda
because down
like,
south we
we
don't.
already
I,
knew it
don't
was
I
gonna
keep
be more
my address
permanent.
and you keep
But
yours.
literally, it was like the trunk was full of stuff, just traveling back and forth, between like he lived in Northwest, I live in Northeast, so it's not exactly next door, you know what I mean? And all of that. And it got to the point where I was like, all right, we doing this. It's been what, like a year?
But we did this for a year.
And I was like, what are we gonna do? Like, and I was like, we could do so much more if we with our incomes in one household, and with that, that's how we've been able to travel
And he
live
said,
fabulously.
girl, he told me I ain't have to pay mortgage. And I was like, okay,
I love that.
I am packed. Don't even worry about it.
Wait.
Right? I haven't paid mortgage in 10 years,
But
girl.
don't make the thing you
I
don't pay no
love
bill.
it.
Marco,
I
but let me
love
tell
it.
you this. So me and you, I knew we was vibing because my birthday
Right,
was
girl.
October 20th. So we both Libras, and I'm gonna tell you that birthday dick is something different. You can't do that,
Yeah.
or he will be around for 10 years. That's a
Yeah.
message.
Yeah.
Stay
You're
away
right.
from the birthday dick.
You are so right. You would never.
I cannot.
You never lied. That's how we roll. I'm so serious. So when he said mortgage, and I was like, okay,
My piece from last year birthday. Don't do it.
right. But I'm gonna be real. I was very afraid of, because I knew once I took on a relationship that I knew didn't have, that I knew had potential. It's one thing to get with a relationship that don't have no potential. You don't care about
Right.
that. You're gonna break up
Right.
anyway. You already know it's coming. But this relationship, I found no indication that it couldn't work.
We had some rocky times at the beginning. Trust
was
and believe,
rocky.
we pushed through to make it. And even the beginning of the pandemic tested the limits of our relationship,
Oh,
right?
I had you all on speed
Because
dial.
let me say this, and
Not
not to get off topic, but our typical work week would be this, right? He would leave out for work before me around 7. I would leave maybe 7:30ish.
6:45.
Okay, 6:45, right? By the time he gets home, maybe 4ish, and I run all after school programs. I'm administrator on duty after school, right? So I would get home 6:37. Around 9, he would go to the gym to about 11. By the time he get back home from the gym, I'd be asleep. And this is not counting to when we had graduate classes and all this kind of stuff. But
Right.
but still, even that took away more time of us seeing each other. So we might 2.5, 3 hours during the week, right? A day. To now, when at the beginning, when everything was shut down, even though we have a 3-level 5-bedroom house, it still was not enough space, right?
I gotta
And so it tested. And then Marco was the one that was watching the news 24/7. So he was consuming himself with every new thing that came out.
Right.
So we were the kind
Right.
when we order food, I had to
Girl,
sit
I was
outside for an
COVID
hour
awareness.
and blah. And it got to a point where I was just like, you need to get out the house.
Absolutely
Like,
not.
because he was taking all the frustration out on me. because he was like, you know, what, cabin fever and going crazy, and then the paranoia, because, you know, if you watch the news 24/7, every little, now this, now that, maybe they're saying this, you know, we're at the beginning when they didn't know anything. And so I say this, and y'all do know, I mean, we clearly know a lot of relationships didn't last right through the pandemic.
Right.
So so that really was a second test of our relationship. And then, you know, the beginning of our relationship, you know, we were still early 30s. I mean, and there was some challenges. There was a lot of challenges there, but I think
we call it growth years.
We worked it out and knew, and now, you know, I'm like, I know what I have at home. Any other little hoe could come around and I'd be like, that would be a one night gratification, but it would never be what I get out of this. You know what I mean? I'm never.
But that's not the reason why you're not doing what you're doing, because it's just a one night gratification.
I'm just saying, I know what
sound just like us.
I'm saying, I want to leave you for the hoe. That's what I'm saying.
Now, girl, I'm gonna keep it real with you.
Go ahead, check them. Go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead.
The only reason why I did not leave is because, girl, I went downstairs and looked at my closet and I realized it was too much to pack. And I just said, you know what? It's too much to pack. I'm just gonna deal with this. You stay on the top level and I stay on the bottom. And we just gonna figure this out. When we ready to meet halfway, we will. And that's how we got through the pandemic. But one thing I will say is this.
Oh yeah, I was on the top level. Nobody was in the middle. He was, so even our basement's still on ground level. You know what I mean? So you can still, you know, and so that's how we had our own.
But we had space. But one thing we honestly decided was, I'm not going to hold you accountable for anything that I too would not want you to, you know, hold on me. So I'm gonna be fair in this. I had one of our closest friends and couples that have been in a relationship a lot longer than we have. Now probably 20 years, Rashad and Clay. Rashad, one of our good friends in Atlanta, very sociable, very well known. He said to me, we were actually on a trip, and he pulled me to the side and he said, you know, are you muting?
No.
He said, it's not the forgiveness that you've got to give to your partner that you need to worry about. It's the forgiveness you're going to have to give to yourself. And that thing registered with me. And I was like, oh, that's how you stay in a relationship. But everything I wanted him to forgive me for, I needed to forgive him. And that's when you know what real love is. When you got a reason to pack, girl, first of all, when you got a reason to leave everything, don't even pack. I'm talking just grab the keys, go to the car and go start over. When you got a real reason to do that and you decide to stay through it, that's when the love actually begins to unveil.
Because there was for about a year, once a month, he threatened to leave me.
Every single day. Every day.
Not every day, but it got to a point where I was like, well, then go.
Right.
I dare you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Girl, I told you I went and looked in that closet and it was just
he had his moments too, where he did the faking me out. Like
one time I cleared my closet out and
then he had a time where he stayed at the hotel, and then by 11 a.m. the next morning he was like, I missed you. So like,
we have a real life.
And I decided I wasn't gonna call him either. You want to go? Go ahead.
I was downtown at the Hamilton, or either Four Seasons.
Yeah.
So I was or actually this hotel. I'm gonna keep it real. I was at this hotel where it's lavish. Girl, I don't even have to.
Hotel is a nice little spot now. I might have said
real, right, girl. But at the end of the day, I really was like, okay, what are you doing? You know, but I needed that moment. I needed that time. I needed that not permission, but I needed that right to go and think about. You'd rather be with somebody that's choosing to be with you than you forcing them to be with you.
Right.
And it wasn't forced.
Let me say this in closing. Thank you guys so much for coming on. But let me tell you what you did for me. When we first started this conversation, me and my mom was like, what are we gonna talk about? I was like, we don't talk about normal stuff, the same stuff we talk about with everybody else that come on, right? And she was like, okay, well, this is gonna be different. And for me, what it did is, and I hope that everybody, all of our subscribers and people that just tune in just to watch, one, that you hit the subscribe button, but two, that you take away from this, that when we see same-sex couples, that they do the same shit that we do. They talk about the same shit that we do. They have the same.
That's exactly what I got from it. And y'all just like us.
Yeah. Like, Well, damn, that's the same thing. And even with the energy, like I'm like, okay, Marco, I see we vibing. And I'm like, okay, this the nigga that did you go on to check every once in a while? Like you get
yeah, girl, you know, right.
than I do with my heterosexual couple friends or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like you normalized what some people see as different than them. And this conversation made you the exact same as me. You know what I'm saying? Like the same issues,
Thank
the
you.
same thing. It actually brought what something that looked like out there when I got here is right next to me. Like, okay, that's the homie.
Wow.
Okay, I see. We could go on a cruise together. And so I appreciate that, because I hope that people that watch this won't judge as harshly next time they see a couple that doesn't look like them. And they'll say, you know what, they might just be just like me. They might have the same issues, the same conversations. So I thank you guys so much for your time.
Can I say something too? And what you saying that, I think people should know that, be careful. You never know. That person you might be talking mess to could very well be gay. And I know when I don't like to do this so much, but when I bring some straight females out, maybe to an event or whatever, their mouths are always dropping, because they're always like, I would never have imagined, never, you know what I mean? And so you never know, like, that this guy would be gay, right? Because then some of them have in their mind only effeminate guys and don't realize the toughest dude, the dudes playing basketball, football, any other thing, you know what I mean? They you know, they're gay too, and they might be there. And so you never know, and you could be talking to somebody like, oh, look at that. And you offended that person, right? You know what I mean? Somebody that you love, your family member. You could be, you know, cause somebody that a niece or nephew and talking best to have them be suicidal. So you never know who that person is right next to you that could be gay, and you don't know it, you know? So have that kindness and you know, because it's in our youth, we have people that said slick stuff, you know what I mean? Maybe some uncles or something not knowing, you know what I mean? We were gay, and at 43, still hold on to it, you know? And so you need to be cognizant.
Really
so I'm glad you said it, but I just wanted to put that message out. And I love women, so I don't want any of you women thinking that I was talking mess and all that, but I was just telling my truth. All right, because I feel like
you know you're gonna get somebody like
backlash.
That's all right.
I ain't got no kids.
Right.
I love my sisters. I truly love my sisters. And one thing that I do hope this conversation brings out is that Black man, straight or gay, you know, the right Black man, if our hearts are right, we love Black women. We respect Black women, we uphold them. And one thing that Carlos knows that I do and he does in return, we take care of our sisters. You know, we look after them, we honor.
Being gay has nothing to do with hating our women.
It has nothing to do with it. That's a man choice. That's a choice that a man makes. So loving women and not putting them through. I think for me, and I know Carlos can attest as well, I love women so much, I thought about them in even my decision to choose the right way to go. Because we can closet all day. I could have been another DL, you could have been too. You know how many women would have loved to have snatched up and said, yeah, because we're a package, but at the end of the day, they don't even realize the package they were getting was going to be all broken and would have destroyed them.
Yeah.
If we had not been honest with who we are and who we are.
Yeah, because you know you get ready in but I'm also one who's have relationships with females, right? I mean, shoot, to this day, had she not miscarried, I would have a 25-year-old, right?
Yeah, my good
and so, you know, we've had those relationships. So we've been there, done that. Where I have some gay friends who have never been with a woman ever, right? But that's not our experience. So even with that being said, with the choice, you know, it's not like I can say I never tried it. You know what I mean? You know, I've been there, and I love women. And
I've tried it, so I gotta ask: Are you telling me as a woman, it's better to be with a man, in your personal opinion, than all the stuff that goes on with a woman's body that was designed for what you have?
Okay,
yeah, but there's a lot of nasty stuff.
You're so crazy.
I'm just saying.
I'm not gonna take on the human nature part of being a woman. But I will say this, being with a woman was very, it was sweet, it was enjoyable, and I truly enjoyed it. But I just could not get past the part that as a man, I was still desiring a man. That's where it gets kind of confusing. I just didn't want to have to sit down with my girl, and I'm not bisexual man. So I didn't want to. If I'm with a man, I'm gonna be with a man. If I'm with a woman, I'm gonna be with a woman. But in this case, I'm just that guy that I could not fall into the bisexual category because I feel like I just couldn't sit down and tell my woman, I don't know how to tell you this, but I got some confusing feelings. That is devastating.
I'm just talking about
And the woman I was with,
I'm talking about physicality. Like what we have is literally designed for what you have. God put it together and was like, this shit right here, this is about to do something.
see, it is beautiful, right? And we still appreciate it, but you know, we have a lot of gay dudes that be like, ugh, you know, when they see it. So I mean, some of that physical, and see, that's a whole nother. No, but that's a whole
I ain't
nother
throwing
show.
up because I see a
What
woman.
she just brought up is a whole nother show.
That's on the show.
I have to bring y'all back.
The physicality,
But
part,
I'll say the
we could talk about
physicality
that for an
part.
hour. Right.
A man cannot compete with a woman, and a woman cannot compete with a man. It's
Okay.
just two totally different experiences. I can't even express it.
That's what my friend that's gay said. He was like, Shanae, I would sleep with you, but I like dudes, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's
See,
it.
that's my
It's
thing.
like an
it.
orange. He's like, it's
Attracted to
literally like an
women.
orange and apple. He's like, it's not the same fruit at all.
Right.
Yeah,
That's how he
right.
described it.
A woman can break you off. Don't get me wrong.
I'm just saying. I'm
She
just-
can, as long as she can deal with after she give it to you in her space, that you still desire him over there too. Then as long as you're all right with that, then you can do
That ain't what
both.
we
But
talking about. I'm just trying to figure out how you walked away from it. That's
Well, let
all
me
I'm
ask-
saying.
So I was with the woman who almost had my child. Let me just say this real quick. And by every definition of the book, she is super strong Black woman. Hear me roar, right? Super blah blah. But we, you know, we were in love and all that. But then that's when I was more exploring and coming out, right? And the love was so strong that she was willing. And this is the woman who you would never hear do this, but willing to be like, she was like, babe, you know what? You can still do this, and you know, I still want to be with you. But that's caught up. I know, Mom.
You
but
had one of
I
them.
know, listen, but I'm telling you that she's the definition of strong Black woman who would never accept it, but that love overtook it. And I told her no because I loved her too much to do that to her, right?
Wow.
And you know, and we're not together today. Sometimes I find out through friends how she's doing, you know what I mean? But that was, you know,
If I tell you how mine reacted, that's a whole nother topic.
I'm just saying she was almost the mother, right?
Mine wasn't having it. She told me she was going to get tested. That's how dirty it was with us. And I get it now. I get it.
Yeah.
But she wore me out. So after that, she tainted me. After that, I was like, okay, she done broke me all the way down to a common denominator of no worth. You know, after that, because I was honest, I was like, hey, this is your story. I was like, baby, look, I got some feelings that I don't understand. And she went to 20. And after that, I was like, oh, absolutely not. I'm not taking a woman through this. So I tried to do the stay with the woman thing. It just didn't. My sister wasn't having it.
I appreciate y'all. This is my message for
Right.
anybody out there. What a man has, and I can't shit. I always say I don't get why two girls go together, but I can get why dudes go together. Because what y'all have, shit is amazing. Especially
Girl, I gotta agree with you with that one. I love her.
Thank you guys
love
so
you.
much for coming on. I greatly appreciate you guys. Every Thursday, 8 p.m. Check us out on all the platforms. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Until we meet again, stay safe.
I love you.
Thank
all.
you, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving us this opportunity. We
Yeah, no, it
appreciate
was
it.
so fun. Thank you guys for coming on. Y'all are freaking awesome and just too much. Too much.